Yo. So, has everybody seen the news about the economic viability of a channel? Like any of ours? Especially for someone like mine? Starting in very few whiles, we have two kinds of censorship that is going to start very soon. The first is going to be done by the platform itself, actively taking away the ability to have free speech, namely about the featured rules, and the other is being done by the government, specifically Ajit Pai's FTC violation rules, and how they're about to use COPPA to fucka ussa up the butta. You've probably already seen it. You've probably already heard other people's takes on it. But let me explain it to you the way that I understand it, having been a government pencil pusher. These rules achieve two effects. Number one, economic viability in terms of what the site will do means that the way that it's been worded in the legalese, it's very simple. It's a very big red button that says press here to kill YouTuber. That's what that button says. When you say it's not economically viable, it can be interpreted any way that you really want, because the economic viability of a channel is dependent upon how many people are seeing it, how many people view the videos, how many people even care about the videos, or even if it's an important factor that the person's account even exists. So take, for example, corporate accounts, YouTubers, celebrities, well-known YouTubers. When I say YouTubers, people whose names come up in conversation because, oh, I get sponsored their content, I see their videos. Those kinds of YouTubers, your Markipliers, your Jacksepticeye's, your Pymations, your Rooster Teeths, your video game journalist companies. You know the ones. Late night television show hosts, whether they be left or right. Media corporations, news corporations, video game companies, video game developers, both proper accounts for studios such as Take-Two Interactive, Level 5, and even your individual developers like W Fox. Those people, they're going to be acceptable not on YouTube. They'll even be monetized because they have enough people behind them that they give a shit. You can see this with what's going on right now with Markiplier and him getting his people unbanned on his YouTube streams because they were spamming emotes. Far beyond me for a Bay Area fucking person inside of YouTube to not understand, or for them to implement bots that wouldn't understand, or would even begin to punish people for spamming emotes, something that is most natural as any streamer on any platform ever recognized is part of the community. But for them to not only ban accounts, but because of the nature of our accounts being linked to our Gmails, being linked to our emails that we use the accounts for, like the two accounts that I have, one which I'm going to be renovating soon because I need to make sure I separate content. Content needs to not cross wires and whatnot, but regardless of the fact that things are how they are, they ban these people, they ban their accounts, and they keep refusing the appeals of it. Meaning, they can't access their YouTube accounts, they can't access their emails, they can't receive emails, they can't view emails, they can't use any service that's tied to Google whatsoever, because Google and your Google account is tied to your YouTube account. So if you're banned from YouTube, you can't use Google Drive. If you're banned from YouTube, you can't use your Gmail. If you're banned from YouTube, you can't use any Alphabet product that's underneath the Google banner. This is basically direct censorship via social points. We already knew this happened because it's the Peace Corps. Shit like that. It's more of the same. They're just being more blatantly honest about it now and telling us that they're gonna fuck us up the ass. Which, I mean, to be honest, in the whole terms of things, this is actually the closest they've come to telling us directly what they plan for us. So, it's official. YouTube is basically dead. Double upload your content and set up a BitChute account. Make sure you're using alternative media and using alt tech in general, because the US has no interest in having free speech. Some people, somewhere in the government do, but not the ones currently in power. Not Ajit Pai, not Susan Wojcicki. They don't give a shit. What would make you think that they do? They haven't expressed a single position that would support a single person, the big or little guy, being able to get it. The only people who they're speaking for, the only people being listened to, is the bigger YouTubers. That's the reason why when Natalie tried to come for me, when I said to her directly, with no fucking sneer, no snide, no remark, and was simply, here are the facts, here's what I know, here's what I can prove, she got mad, tried to lie about me, tried to smear me in the press, and I immediately moved to block it by making my statement, making sure it got pushed out there first, and that's why she hasn't done anything at all to me ever again. Because she's terrified. Because I understand how this works. It's a very corporatized system. You have to understand how the mind of a person who clout seeks works in order to be able to defend yourself against them. Fortunately, I've had the unfortunate luck of being around a circle of people who do that. Not specifically fish for clout, mind you, but deal with clout seekers. One of the people who y'all should know, whose name I'm not going to mention, is someone who's famous for doing so. But this person, they're not coming to help us. They're not concerned. They don't care. They don't even fucking support us. Not directly. The only time that they care to say anything is when it lines their pockets. And I want to see how long it takes for them to notice that I'm not coming to help them with their problems. And that I'm not there for them. I want to see how long it takes. That's a whole other diatribe for later. So, that's the first type of censorship. The first type of censorship is coming from YouTube directly. Which is, we're going to make you learn our social system and social credit, and we're going to make you in fear of us all the time. Make better content. In other words, make content that we can monetize for watch time. And if you don't, well, you're not economically viable. If you don't follow our rules on our monetization, we'll take your money away. And well, look at that. You're not economically viable. Goodbye. The second type is coming from the FTC, and that's COPPA. And what does COPPA mean? Well, COPPA means you have a $42,000 fine that can be paid if they believe that you've made a video that is not proper for children. It's basically censoring things because think of the children. But it's obvious that it's just a push from the government to be able to justify wringing money out of people, because that's what it does. That's all it's going to do. You could get multiple violations on a single video, and you won't be able to monetize anything, period. You'd have to completely crowdfund your resources off-site and never monetize a video. You can turn ads off. You can do that. But if you're trying to make money on your videos, it means nothing. Now for me, personally, I don't fucking care. It's not going to affect me. It shouldn't. Probably will. It probably will. They'll find a way. They'll find a way to bend me over and stick it in, like they always do. But for me, I don't make any money on this to begin with whatsoever. Still haven't made money for it, mostly. Not from anything directly from ad revenue. Not anything from specific money being handed to me by the companies. There have been people who have handed me money. There's been jobs that I've taken. There's been voice acting products that I've been in that have paid for it. Some of which I had to take because I'm young and I need the money. But overall, I haven't made a single red cent from a single ad. They still haven't approved my AdSense account. So, how could I? That's why I have all the things down there for where you can support my money. Always and every time in my videos. Because I'm not going to make a red cent if I go through the corporations. It's not going to happen. The kind of content that I want to do and the kind of content that I produce is never going to be friendly for children. So, even if I label it, I'm pretty sure someone's going to come across my account. They're going to come knucking around as I'm climbing, as I get bigger and bigger. And they're going to say, oh, you need to be terrified of that single-player Carl guy. He's another ER in the making. Which is the reason why I go on camera. Because that's really the only defense I have. The shit that I don't care about. My identity. And I'll talk about that later in another video that's coming down the pipeline. That one's going to have a little bit more editing. And by a little bit, I mean a lot more editing. So you can really see what I'm talking about when I say that. But the only defense against it is that you have to be a popular creator. And you have to be a specific minority who can do so. That's it. That's the only way you're going to get away with anything. It's the only way anything's going to leave you alone. If you have the stick to be able to whack them over the head with. Because if you're able to make YouTube terrified that you're going to take your audience away from them, and you're a bigger creator, like Markiplier, like Jacksepticeye, like any other of these people, if you do that, you will have an out and you will have an in. If you're someone like me, they don't give a shit. Ain't no one coming to save me. Because no one cares. That's fine. For the people who do support, I appreciate them highly. Because they're the reason I do it every day. Even if one person sees what I say, it's good enough for me. Because I wouldn't know what to do with clout if I had it. I'd probably support other people because I want to see other people rise. It's part of my it's part of my imposter syndrome. I've had it for the longest time since I've been an actor. And looking at this news article, looking at the articles in general, reading about how they're planning to fuck us, I can understand why I have it. Because you need money to live. There are things I'm gonna have to do to make moves possible and purposed and important to make this shit work. But I'll find a way. But ultimately, grand scheme, if you're a creator and you want to save yourself from this, find things to do. That's basically it. Find ways to make yourself economically viable. Come up with ideas. Come up with words. Write a book. Make a product. Feature it on your page. Get people interested in it. Do anything. Because the only way that they're going to come save you with your problems is if you are an account that has at least a silver play button, if not a gold play button. If you don't have 100,000, 200, 300,000, 1 million minimum, in my opinion, followers and subscribers, if you're not making money off the platform, making the kinds of videos that gets the watch time retention, if you're not making that content that people click on, even if it's clickbait, they will find a way. They will find a way. So, just be precautious and carry around some lube. Because if you want to get some things done, you're probably going to have to take it up the pooper every now and again. That's all I got to say for now. I'll see you guys next time. Mwah. I love you all. Goodbye, everybody.